Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. We're hitched up and ready to go to Delaware Seashore State Park. We are hitched up and ready. We are going to take 2 kayaks with us, taking the bicycles with us. We'll have some other bicycles. Maria's on her way up to get the grandkids they're going with on this trip. Truck looks pretty level, all loaded down. So we are looking forward to a nice weekend camping at the beach. New tire cover on there. We'll bring you back when we get there. Hey, we have made it to our site. We are site 202. Right there.
I put them on the camera.
You can see the sites are macadam, full hookup. So we got water, electric, and sewer. Callan, Mr. Callan there, he helped me get all the camper stuff set up. He knows what he's doing. We got our table out. We are at the beach, so it's sandy, so I put the mat out. We got some chairs. We got a picnic table. I didn't put the awning out yet. We'll do that. It's a little tight, so I had to angle the truck. You can see here's the front of the site. You can see we got enough room. This is Mike, the camp host, next to us. And this is the Indian River Inlet over here. And on the other side of that bridge, the Atlantic Ocean. You can see we got Emmerich and Callan with us, Phoebe and Marie. So there's 2 campgrounds. There's the South Campground that we're in that has these smaller sites, and then if you can see way in the distance over by that water tower, that's the north side, and those campsites are much larger for bigger rigs. But this looks good to us. Beautiful day we got here on Thursday night. It's about a 3.5 hour drive with the camper, a relatively smooth roads. There is a Coast Guard station over here, so we may see some activity. Of course, here's Phoebe J. Right here. And a couple of helicopters coming by right there. If you're coming south on 1, come down the coastal highway, you get off on the right to the access road. You come down through here, and then you come up this road and you check in here. Once you're checked in, you don't have to stop. You can just drive right through because you have a tag in your car. I'd like to give you our thoughts on the Delaware Seashore State Park. So this was about a 3.5 hour trip
with
for
the
us.
traffic through Exton and all.
Yeah, so about 150 miles, just under 150 miles to get down there. So it took about 3.5 hours. We had the grandkids with us, well, the grandsons. Granddaughter is not camping yet, she's a little young. So we decided to go down there. What did you think of that location?
It was a great spot. We had the second pull-in site at the end of a row. We were at the inlet so that we could see the sun setting. It was over the water. It was beautiful.
So we were in site 202, which looks across the street at the inlet, the Indian River Inlet, and of course, you know, we're right there at the Atlantic Ocean. Also, it's just a quick walk under the bridge. So the sites were relatively short, 45 feet, and our trailer is about 25 to 27 feet in total. So with the truck, we couldn't stay into that, you know, we couldn't park them in a row, in a line in the site. I had to angle the truck a little bit. But the north camp, we were in the South Campground. The north campground has much larger sites for bigger rigs. But then you have to drive across the bridge to get to the beach.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't want to do that. We wanted to be on the other side. So, and I don't mind a small site like that. Check-in, pretty easy.
Smooth. Mm-hmm.
You just come off of Route 1, off the coastal highway, and use the access road to get to the campground. There's like a little booth there, and they have your information from your reservation. They give you a tag for your vehicle, and then you don't have to stop anymore when you drive through there because they see the tag. So that was a relatively easy process to get checked in and to get set up. One of the activities the kids loved, and we could do this wherever we're at, but because we were down at the beach, the campground's very flat, and they loved riding their bikes. Mm-hmm. So Callum was on his bike quite a bit, and Emmerich was riding his truck. So we are headed to the playground right over there. You riding to the playground? Right there's the playground. And what'd you think of that playground?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was nice, well kept, newer play items.
Yeah, they had a number of large and small slides. They had lots of things to play on, some musical instruments there, and some swing sets. One of the swings was a double swing where you could swing and put a little child in the swing in front of you. So that was pretty cool. We do have a set of rules for the playground. There we go. How you doing? Good. Here you can see they have little kid swings, and they have a nice big playground. They got some of those springy things. Got a bunch of different slides. Got a big slide up there. So they also, I like this, they have shaded benches. Because in the summer, I'm sure it gets hot. Now we're here in spring, so it's comfortable. How do you like this playground, Callan? All right.
You want to see how I got up there?
Yep.
First, I go up these steps. Next, I go up these arms. And I go up these steps.
Good job.
And there's the steps up here.
And then you pick a tube. All right. Good job. You like this playground?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, Mr. Emmerich? Gonna ride the whale? Do you like that whale?
Yeah.
All right.
It's faster.
Yeah.
It's faster than a cheetah.
It is fast, huh? There's Marie playing the xylophone. Callan is liking the slides, and of course Phoebe J this is her first time down to shore. See how she does on this trip. This is camping trip number 2 for Phoebe J. So one of the things that that we noticed, or that Marie noticed, was honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle, I love it. Growing up as a child, that was something we looked for when we went for walks.
Looking for that honeysuckle, the kids were interested in giving it a try.
Yes.
So we found some of the honeysuckle, and there was yellow and white honeysuckle, and Marie taught the kids how to get the sweet nectar out of those honeysuckles. So we'll show you that right now.
Sucking on honeysuckle vines.
So you're gonna get a honeysuckle?
You have to get it out. You gotta get some off and get the honeysuckle.
You got it. Give it a taste. Emmerich, you gonna try a honeysuckle?
Oh, can you do it with Baba? Look, Emmerich, we'll do it right here on the bench. Watch what Baba does. Watch, you take this off. Take the leaf off. Look, I gotta get the end of it. And then you put this in our, bless you. And put this in our mouth. And put the one in your mouth. You don't want to try it?
And even though we had our RV there, we know there's a lot of people who like to tent camp, and there were a lot of spots for tent
For
campers.
tent campers.
So there were actually two sections, one section right by the bridge. So I would think there'd be a little bit of noise there if you're in a tent right by the bridge of the coastal highway. And then there was another section closer to the inlet near the second bathhouse. And that one looked like it might have had, more amenities, maybe some electric sites there. I'm not quite sure, but they had a lot of room for tent camping at the South Campground for Delaware Seashore State Park. So I'll put that in right here. They do have some tent camping spots. Now it's right by the bridge, so you're gonna hear a lot of noise, but they do have potable water for the campers. So these would all be tent sites in here. Now as far as adult activities right at the campground, there's beach volleyball.
Okay. Nobody was playing when we were there though, right?
Yeah, later on I saw some teenagers over there playing, but they do have a volleyball court there. It's right by the laundry room, so you could put your wash in the washer and then play a little volleyball till you switch it to the dryer. Now, their laundry room is not like a KOA, where there's 6 or 7 washers and 6 or 7 dryers. It had one washer and one dryer. Now, no one was using it when we were there. But at least it's available. If you're at the shore and everything's full of sand and it's wet, you might need to wash it up and use it. So that was good to see that they had it. So here is a video clip of the laundry room and also the bathroom. There are 2 bathhouses in the campground, and this is one of them. So you'll see laundry and the bathhouse right now. They do have a beach volleyball set. There we go.
What are we gonna get?
We're gonna get video of the laundry room. So they do have a washer and dryer for you. So on the opposite side of the laundry room is the men's room. There's a good picture of the campground. Our site is right here. There is the men's room. Got nice sinks. Very modern. Shower room with a separate area. Now here's a handicap spot. They do have hooks. No doors, but a curtain. And then here's a toilet. We got the high fly and the ADA toilet. So adequate. So on this trip, we had a little bit of rain.
Lots of rain.
And
Saturday
wind.
Into Sunday.
We didn't put the awning out. Because the winds were blowing 15 to 20, and I didn't want to watch my awning go out into the inlet and into the bay. So we kept the awning in, but it did rain quite a bit. And as soon as it would stop raining, or the rain would let up, the kids wanted to go outside.
Yeah.
So they put on their boots and their jackets, and what were they doing?
Puddle jumping.
Maria's always helped those kids enjoy the rain by teaching them to jump in puddles, even to the detriment of the parents sometimes, because the kids will be going into someplace fancy, and if they see a puddle, they jump in it. So that's all on Baba here. But they had a good time playing in the water, and they had Phoebe jumping in the water, and they wanted to know if she could drink it. So here's a video clip of puddle jumping. So when it's raining, the kids like to play in the water.
Oh, she's got her ears wet. Is it okay if she drinks this water, Pop?
I don't know. We'll find out if she starts to poop.
Or the pee from it, because it's just wet.
Bird is noisy. Phoebe wants to flush that one out. What do you think, Phoebe? How do you like the rain? I like the rain, Phoebe J.
What do you think of the puddle?
One of the other activities you can do at this campground is fish. So you got 2 choices, right? You can take a surf rod over to the Atlantic and you can toss it in just past the breakers, try to catch some croakers there. or you could fish the rocks at the inlet for stripers. And Callum was catching sand fleas at the beach, which you'll see a little bit later in the video. But he wanted to go fishing, so we took the rods over to the inlet, which is right across, I mean, right across from where our campsite was. So you're talking about maybe a 100-yard walk to the water to fish. So we went over there, and we didn't catch anything, but he sure had a lot of fun reeling in his sand flea and checking to make sure it was still there. Every once in a while, the hook would get caught in some rocks, and he thought he had a big one on there. So he enjoyed it, even though we didn't catch it. The weather didn't permit us to fish again, but we had heard they were catching stripers on bucktails, so I had bucktails with me. That's what we were going to do if we could do it. So here's some video of us fishing at the Indian River Inlet. Fishing with, tell me what kind of bait you're using, Callan.
Flea!
A sand flea. He caught the sand flea on the Atlantic Ocean, and he put it on his rod to see what he catches.
Yeah.
And of course, we took the kayaks with us.
Yeah.
And
they didn't come off the truck.
They did not come off the truck. However, I would encourage you, if you're going to stay there, to take your kayaks if you have them, because right at the campground, there's an easy place to launch them into the back bay water. It really would have been a fun trip, but the wind was blowing too hard and the rain sideways, so we didn't get the kayaks in the water on this particular trip. But if we go down there again, we'll definitely push those kayaks out. So we did head to the beach.
Right.
Now, it was raining, it was windy, it was cold, and Callan was in the water for hours, because that boy, like his mother, loves to be in the water like a fish. So at the beach, he was playing, running through the water, digging for sand fleas that he wanted to use for bait, used his shovel to dig trenches to fill up his moat around his sandcastle. We spotted a horseshoe crab on the beach. Of course, Emmerich, he's not a fan of the wind and the sand.
Different personalities.
But we did get him down to the beach. We managed to get him to go by taking his trucks. So he was pushing his trucks around in the sand, and he seemed perfectly content doing that. But he did not get anywhere near the water. He was not going to go in there. We also saw a boat coming through the inlet. So we got to watch him come in, because there was a small craft advisory. The waves were 4 to 6 feet out there, blowing 15. So we did watch that. And then they have a restaurant complex called the Big Chill. So the Big Chill is this complex of buildings that the Delaware State Seashore Park, I guess they own it, and they lease it out to people to operate it. There's 3 bars there. There's a restaurant. There's like a beach club where there's activities for kids. I didn't get to see how that operated, but I did see a lot of kids there. They have cornhole there and other things, you know, to kind of do. And there's bathrooms and shower houses there for people using the beach. So a really convenient, nice place to go. You know, that was one of the places we were thinking of going to eat, but we decided to go into Bethany Beach shopping for some sand toys, and we went to Grotto's for pizza. But here's some video of the beach.
Maybe we were fishing somewhere in the fishing spot over there. It goes around to our campsite, right?
Right. Callan. "60 degrees out, and that boy is in the water." and an angry Atlantic Ocean in Delaware. Be careful. Got a chair set up there. There's Bob bringing Emmerich down, but Emmerich is not a fan of wind or sand. You can see as a small craft advisory today.
I love it.
A little breezy today. Of course, Emmerich's not a fan. What you doing there, Callan?
He's doing the fun.
Catching bait fry.
Catching bait. Callan caught a sand flea. There he is.
We can use them for bait.
They are good bait, yeah. But throw him back in the ocean, see if he swims away. Yeah. There you go. That boat coming in. So overall, what'd you think about this campground, Marie?
I think it was a great experience where we were at, right by the beach, for the opening springtime season, and I really enjoyed our stay.
Yeah, it was a good trip. In spite of the rain, we still had a good time there, and the kids, you know, they didn't seem to mind. They were having a blast. So look, if this video helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. It does help me out a lot. Also, ring that bell. You'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that,
Go have some fun out there.
hey, thanks for watching. Right, Phoebe?